Katie from the Faulkner County Library, and today we are here with another Miss Ann's Crazy Creations where we will be painting. And typically when I think about painting, I think about using a paintbrush and paper, but we're actually going to be doing something different today. We're going to be using sponges to make butterfly art. So let's go ahead and get out your supplies. From your activity kit, you have a sponge, a rubber band, and a piece of watercolor paper. And then from your supply box, you're going to want to use your paintbrushes and your assortment of paint that you have. And I've put it on a plate, but you have yours in a little palette. If you have a plate available and want to use it to color mix, then that would be great. So once you have your materials ready and everything set up, we are ready to begin. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our sponge ready. So you're gonna take your sponge and you're gonna kind of fold it in the middle and put the rubber band around the middle part. And you want the rubber band to be kind of tight, but then also you want there to be quite a bit of surface area on your butterfly. So you're gonna kind of flatten the edges out. And then you can look, and when you decide which size to use, I would use the side that has the most surface area. So I'm going to use this side for mine. And next, we are ready to go ahead and begin putting the paint on the sponge. So if you would like to use the colors as they came to you, that's perfectly fine, and that would make a really pretty butterfly. Another thing you can do is you can work with color mixing, which is something that I'm going to do today. So I'm going to take a little bit of my red paint and mix it over here with some yellow. And it will be easier for you to mix from your containers because you can just pour it on the plate. So I have made an orange now with my red and yellow. And so I'm going to paint a little bit of that orange on the sponge. And you're only going to paint on one side. So just put the paint on the sponge. And if you get some paint on yourself, like I did on me, that is perfectly fine. It will wash right off. And it will be a reminder of a fun painting experience. I am going to paint my butterfly using stripes. You are welcome to use stripes as well, or you can use one color. You can make a pattern. You can do whatever you would like. So the next thing I'm going to do is I made my orange paint. So now I'm going to see what happens when I mix the blue paint with a little bit of yellow. And I mixed my blue and yellow and got kind of a dark green color. That's a little bit darker than I was going for, so I'm going to come over here and grab some white to lighten that up. And just a dot more yellow. And now I'm ready to add this to my butterfly, to my sponge. And I'm going to mix one final color to add as a third stripe. I'm going to see what happens when I take my blue paint and mix it with a little bit of red. And I have a nice purple now. So I'm going to take this purple stripe and I'm going to add it to my sponge. And once I have the paint on my sponge in the pattern that I would like, I'm going to flip it in half. And this is going to help the butterfly be symmetrical because you know when you see a butterfly, one side is exactly like the other side. So flip it in half and kind of squeeze to make sure that both sides grab your paint. And then we can uncover and we can see what it looks like. If you see any parts like here, I'm not thrilled with the amount of orange it grabs, so I'm going to add a little bit more orange from my paint. So I'm going to add some orange, and it got a little bit of my purple, and that is perfectly okay. And now I'm going to see what happens when I stamp my butterfly art to my paper. So you're just going to stamp it like you would a rubber stamp or a wooden stamp. And ta-da! You end up with butterfly sponge art. And you can keep doing this throughout your page. I think I have room on my page for about 4 butterfly stamps. But then you can also test it out and see how many you have room for or what it would look like if you overlap some of your butterflies with each other. What would that look like? If you're not getting the amount of paint on your page that you would like, just keep adding to your stamp. And remember that you can use whatever colors you would like. It does not have to be exact. You can try new colors. You can keep adding colors. See what new colors you can mix. So I added a little bit of white to my orangey color, and now I've got kind of a pinky coral. I'm going to see what that looks like. And let's see. I'm using a separate bowl to kind of wipe my paintbrush down. You can also use water if you'd like. You can use your envelope that your kit came in to use as a test surface. I'm going to add a little bit of white to the purple that I made. And I get kind of a lavender color there. And since I'm lightening everything up, I'll go ahead and lighten up the green too and see what happens. So I get this nice light green. And let me flip it over and see what happens. I'm going to add a little bit more of my purple, lavender. And I am ready to stamp. Let me clean my fingers really quick. Okay, so we're ready to add this. And here is my next butterfly. Okay, so once you get the amount of butterflies you want, you can take your paint and you can start kind of outlining, if you would like, the body, just to make sure that it's clear that it is a butterfly. And you can do this with a paint color. You can do this with a black pen, whatever you would like. Do make sure you draw some antennas. You can put legs on your butterfly. So you can have a more outlined butterfly. You can have a more abstract. I personally think that I like the abstract style of the butterfly better, but I'm not really a master artist. So I like the abstract version of the butterfly, but you do whatever you would like to do and what you want your butterflies to look like. If you want, another thing you can do is you can take your sponge and you can add kind of colors or shapes in the background. And think about if you want to add a little environment for your butterfly, where might you find a butterfly? So I'm just going to take some yellow and I'm going to add it to the background of my page. To kind of symbolize maybe a flower garden or a sunshiny day where I might see a butterfly. So just think about what you want your painting to look like and do whatever you want. Be creative. And that is how we make the sponge butterflies. Thank you for joining me for today's Miss Ann's program. I hope that you have fun making your own sponge butterfly art. Please follow the Faulkner County Library Youth Services Facebook page and the Faulkner County Library YouTube channel for more summer reading information. Thank you.